Everybody loves puppies, don't they? Tiny little bundles that brighten every day. Black labs running circles in the summer sun. Collies in the meadow having so much fun. Poodles with their fluffy curls. Pyrenees watching over boys and girls. We all had a puppy once upon a time, a memory that still makes our hearts shine. You pet them, you hug them, you give them treats. Little paws following down every street. Through the laughter and the tears they stay, loving us a little more every day. They're cute and cuddly, friendly and true, always there no matter what you're going through. A wagging tail can make the darkest skies turn blue. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the joy they bring us all along. From the smallest bark to the loudest howl, they fill our hearts and they make us smile. Love the puppies, everyone, playing in the grass and chasing the sun. Through every season, come what may, a dog's love never fades away. Sir Winston loved his faithful friends, Rufus by his side until the very end. Audrey Hepburn walking down the avenue with Mr. Famous tagging along too. Alexander the Great had Peritas near, a loyal companion through triumph and fear. Queen Elizabeth's corgis ran through palace halls, proof that puppy love unites us all. Great leaders know what simple hearts can teach, a lesson of loyalty within our reach. No title, throne, or victory above can never replace the good dog's love. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the joy they bring us all along. From the smallest bark to the loudest howl, they fill our hearts and they make us smile. Love the puppies, everyone, playing in the grass and chasing the sun. Through every season, come what may, a dog's love never fades away. The Wyatt Army loves them too, every shape, every size, every shade and hue. From Holly the Dachshund, so little and bright, to CT the German Shepherd standing proud and upright. The Colonel's loved his puppies through the years, sharing happy moments and drying countless tears, because the bond between a dog and friend is a story that never truly ends. Some people spend the day spreading doubt and noise, but puppies remind us of life's simple joys. True hearts see clearly, they always do. A wagging tail speaks louder than rumors ever could. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the friends who walk beside us all along. From Paw Patrol adventures to Lassie's faithful ways, they've been lighting up our lives for generations of days. Love the puppies, everyone, running free beneath the golden sun. From puppy paws to silver muzzles gray, we'll love our dogs forever and a day. Everybody loves puppies, yes it's true, and every grown-up dog was once a puppy too. So raise a treat, share a smile, stay a while, and let those happy tails stretch another mile. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the friends who love us most of all.
It's a good day for Spain, a bad day for the murderous mullahs of Tehran, as the United States continues to palm the state sponsors of terrorism at this hour. Welcome back, folks. It is Night Owls on a Tuesday night. Bastille Day, France. Too bad for them. Bastille Day. They're done. They're toasted. They're gone. So we've seen the elimination of Belgium, a bunch of bad sports. We've seen the elimination today of France and its thuggish, poor sport Mbappe. Good riddance. So long. Goodbye. Now we just need to see Messi score one goal so he can get the golden boot so that it doesn't go to Mbappe because he's such an ass. Anyway, welcome back to the program, folks. Oh, the Rottweiler. I'm sorry about that, Big Fish. Hope to have her join us soon. Okay, cool. All right. All right, let me say hello to folks in the chat tonight. Some people spread hope and despair, and then they try to tag others with that by giving them false hope and lying to people. Really desperate, some of those folks. I saw somebody said, I believe in killing because I support Trump. Did they watch my program? I criticize Trump more than most people. I certainly criticize him on a basis of fact rather than what the leftists do. Just criticize him because they're sad people. In fact, I criticized his effort to charge a 20% toll on the Strait of Hormuz, saying we have no legal right to do so. But that doesn't fit with their demented worldview. So they say that Trump said it could kill people in Manhattan, and that because Trump said that, I'm a Trump supporter, and therefore I believe in killing people. These are really dim-witted people who have to really, really stretch their I mean, really, these aren't even rational people. I hope that the people that are going to take these people to the clock for their defamation do so soon so they can cease and desist. But they're not very bright people. And there's a few of the 73 people here right now that are from that group. And I hope you listen and take the wax out of your ear for once. Pay attention to what's actually said instead of your offenses that you want to take. No one's saying anything to you unless you're being an ass. And then people will say something to you. But anyway, it's pathetic. Drawing a line like that is ridiculous. It's about as bright as Scott Balson claiming I work for the CIA because he found an unclassified biography, which is publicly available on the Energy in Africa conference in Denver, in which it said that I was chief of the Office of Security Cooperation. That's the CIA. No, I know people are chief of security for G4S. It doesn't make them CIA agents. Yeah, when you deal with people, intellectual arguments with people who are coming completely unarmed, they bring a celery stick to an intellectual dispute. It's funny. Subaru, welcome to you. CB, Happy Chappy, Henny Hamza, Jarethra, Xavier Grayling, Malcolm Cloti. How's it going, Malcolm? There's an OG. Loretta Neethling, Alex. That's the other one. Yeah, okay. Tinky, what's going on? Alex, how you doing, man? In fact, it's interesting you write to me. I wrote to Jared earlier to ask him how he's doing, and I've been away from my phone for a few hours for a nice change pace. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. Well, no, I didn't know anything about Jared. Okay, I just asked Jared for an update, see how he's doing, and he just updated me in the message. All kinds of things going on in his life. Alex, thanks for what you did intervening when you did. I hope you didn't feel like it was a waste of effort or time. I hope you did something good, and I hope that life pays you back in a good way, like karma does, for trying to help some. Tinky, what's up? Sumari, Emerencia, Metal Chewing Gum, Cecilia Kruger, Petrus Funderlinda, Madeline Vodka Model from the Meadow. Veroshka, how you doing? Neff, hello. AJ Quinn, puppies, don't kill them, please. Yeah, no, we're not killing the puppies. Nothing but puppy love here. And they called it puppy love. Don Janssen from Rensburg, Angelique Martin van der Merwe. Vodka Model, how you doing? Where's the little guy at? Running around. Not yet. It's too early for him to be up. Team Art, Big Fish, David Ruiz, Heidi, Happy Chappy, Xavier Grayling. And a nice chat with G4 Chief of Security at a certain location. Nice gentleman chatted for half an hour waiting for to his place. Okay, Virtual Western Cape. Best we say, there are still some blessings great for. That's about it. Okay, all right. Xavier says, Colonel, seems some people leave home without putting on the most important item, their sign. Yeah, no, I think there's something cool. Hey, I got something really cool. So earlier today, after I did broadcasts and took care of a few other things, I had to run around. I needed petrol in my tank. So I went and got some petrol. But no one's noticed my haircut. Gosh, none of the ladies are noticing my haircut. Gosh, I'm so heartbroken. I got a haircut. Nobody noticed. It's terrible. Watch someone make a video. Oh, he's so vain. He was crying because people weren't noticing his haircut. 15 minutes. Okay, Vakimano. I knew it was coming sooner or later. Yeah, you watch. Oh, he's so vain. He's so vain. I bet he thinks the songs are about him. Doesn't he? The beard has been trimmed. It had to, because over here on this side, it was thick enough. It just kept touching my ear. It's like I had a mozzie on my ear all the time. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, so the ladies didn't notice the haircut. I threatened to get a haircut. So I got a haircut, and I wore the black T-shirt, and you can see all the little hair. It's like, so I shake it off, but yeah. Got the haircut, then I ran and got some... not this bottle, this is an older one, but got some of the Mexican Coke, a little bit of Starbucks for the fridge, and picked up a couple of books, and I had to renew my membership for the discount warehouse. It was due, so $100 a year. But hey, I more than save money on that. I get 5% back on every purchase. Plus I get discounts and other things, and yeah, so yeah. Anyway, so then from there I went to Costco because I had to cash in my annual check, not a lot of money, from the credit card associated with the Costco account. And I got my cash that, and I bought a few things there. But in the first place, BJ's, I bought things. But at Costco, I found these little things. I have these large storage boxes, these big, heavy-duty plastic boxes. Now, imagine this little thing here in my hand, but it's like, 2 meters long and this deep, and you put all your stuff in. I got those in the basement. They're pretty cool. I got some that have the tops that fold up halfway up and down. But so they had a box of these, 10 of these little cool things. So little storage containers, and they stack one on top of the other with this little yellow lid. So I figured, what a great place to put some of these lapel pins that I collect that are just piling up in the drawer. Dallas Mavericks. Can also put some of my command or challenge coins, the Hershey Bears, so put that in there. There you go. 250 years of America. There's a 250 American anniversary. There. We've got, what is that one? I can't even read that one. I think it's Pennsylvania something. Peter Rabbit. A little Peter Rabbit to go in there. Okay. Pensioner discounts for what? Oh, I get a discount. $100. It's $120 for regular membership. For military, they give it to you for $100. So this is the needle in the French Alps. Whoops. The damn it came off the back. It's interesting. These are called dammits. And I've never understood why, except that, I guess the damn it name, we jokingly say colloquially that it's called damn it because if you don't have it on there, it pokes you in the collarbone. Damn it. So they call them dammits. Anyway, it's a White House pin. Anyway, I showed you these four. There's the Black Ferns from New Zealand. There's the Cleveland Guardians. Alex, you'll appreciate that. There you go. Cleveland Guardians. That's from the Indians. Their little mascot. Alex, I got that when I was with Alex. Here's the Women's Rugby World Cup in England, 2025. A pin for that. Got the pink on there. Okay. It's more like chartreuse than pink. There's a keychain from the World Cup. I always buy at least one of those. I never use them. That one looks pretty cool. It looks like it's got different layers, but it doesn't. That's an optical illusion. See at the bottom there, it looks like it's got different layers, but it's not. It's just a paint color. A bunch more here. The Union flag of South Africa. Okay. Oh, there was wooing earlier. I missed it. Okay. The Stellenbosch Flying Club. There's my pilot's wings from Stellenbosch. Okay. What's this one? Oh, this is from Switzerland, Biel. The Biel Tour. It's the gate. Monaco. Monte Carlo. That look familiar? Free State? This one's special. So this lapel pin is the Birmingham Barons. I got this when I went to Birmingham. CNN flew me down there last year, and I met Jay and Errol in person, spent time with them, and I took them to the first ever baseball game. What a treat it was for me. I don't know if she ever got back to another baseball game, but they really enjoyed it. So that one's special to me. Put that in there. Okay, here's a flag of Monaco, a little lapel pin that's a flag from Monte Carlo. Yep, and here's a Rugby World Cup 2023 pin for France. Yeah, like I said, I keep those little World Cup pins. I need to put them all together. Okay, there's my air assault wings. And for the hate wankers in the heartburn group who don't know what real soldiers are. Those are earned, not given by idiots online. Dallas Mavericks. You can see the horse on there. Okay. Oh, this is from the Hoover Dam. It's a replica of that brass plate over there of the geodetic survey. It's the survey marker. It's the one that's on the Hoover Dam. And then here I have a Vegas Golden Knights keychain. It says that apparently I'm the #1 fan. Anyway, how cool is that? So I can put all that stuff inside there. And then if there's a lot more room for this, then I can just keep the dust off of it and keep the tarnish from getting to it. It's pretty. Oh, I forgot this. Yeah, somebody gave me this recently. They gave me these pills. These are pills you can use for gender reassignment, apparently. If you want to be a lady, you can take this pill. I think some South African gave this to me. So you can take this pill if you want to be a lady. I have one if I want to be a man. So, yeah, we'll put that in there too. Okay. Anine made to USA flew out Monday via Zurich to LA. Currently in the bus to our final destination. Wow, it's 8:20 and you're not there yet. That's a long trip. Welcome to America and good luck in California. Anyway, wow. So that's pretty cool. I got 10 of those boxes for, $9. Give you a hint when storing multiple items to make a small inventory on a piece of paper with description items. Yeah, no, I have boxes like that. My big boxes in the basement have that. And I also have upstairs, I have Rubbermaid boxes that have, dental floss, toothpaste, toothbrush, accessories, underarm, things like that. You're speaking to someone that's used to moving and used to identifying things. I have, the one thing I don't keep good track of that way is all my little accoutrements for electronics. I don't really do a good job, or as good a job as I should do. Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. I thought that was the other pill. I was looking for the pill to be a man. I got the one to be a woman, so. Anyway, yep. We've already updated the Colonel's hair status update on the website. See, I didn't even know there was a Discord page. That's funny. YouTube may be hiding my videos, which explains the massive drop. But last week I wasn't publishing. That's probably why they did it. Well, I mean, I was publishing. I wasn't publishing my regular schedule. So, but this notice didn't go out because I didn't set the stream up till about 12 minutes before the hour. And if you don't do it 31 minutes, YouTube doesn't send notifications to people until 30 minutes later. You came from Durban to the Sahara Desert in Texas. I warned people about that. Anine Jones, welcome to America. Well, you mean those little chiclets that go in there that suck up all the moisture. Or you can put a couple grains of rice in there too. Met with your case agent yesterday. I have some deadlines. Okay. All right, Veroshka, that's interesting. 24th July is not that far away. It's 10 days. Well, Madeline knows the haircut. Okay. Oh, Angelique noticed it. Well, waiting for the beard. Okay. I didn't see people even notice that. I must have missed that. Okay. All right. Well, and I did pick up a couple books. That's one habit that I have. Being literate and being intellectual, I tend to collect a lot of books. So this one here, some people don't like this guy, but I never blamed him. He isn't responsible for not for refusing to certify the Electoral College. He fulfilled his constitutional duty, and a lot of conservatives are angry at him, but that doesn't change the fact that he's conservative. Not that I'm his greatest fan because of some of the stuff he said about the president, but I do want to read his philosophy about being conservative. So Mike Pence, What Conservatives Believe, Rediscovering the Conservative Conscience. Hey, Jean, Bobby John. Blurble. So. Conservatives know that wisdom often begins by consulting the people who came before us. As Barry Goldwater wrote, conservative principles persist because they are rooted in the truth. What this isn't just about the past, it's about how time-tested conservative principles can be applied to problems of tomorrow. So Pence has in here chapters on one nation under God, right to life, defending religious liberty, freedom of speech, and Second Amendment, keeping faith with the Constitution, law and order from neighborhood to the border, economic freedom of the American dream, confronting the national debt, a new birth of federalism, school choice, patriotic education, equality of opportunity, strengthening the traditional family, peace through strength, standing up to our enemies, standing with our allies, the case for Israel, our brave new world, and conservative statesmanship. Yeah, so anyway, I'll get around to reading that probably a few weeks down the road. So I believe it'll be Marco Rubio. And this one here, let me get this. I need to take this sticker off here because it's annoying. I hate these price stickers around these things. So this book is a bit pricey. It's at the top end of the threshold of what I'm willing to pay for a book, but it's a coffee table book. So not that I have many guests come to my house, but that's the purpose of it. It's a coffee table book where you put it out like in a medical practice or a dentist office. Out in the front, you have this thing, you put it there, and then people can read while they're waiting for their appointment. But this one here, it's a National Geographic publication, and the $66 Canadian or $50 US, but it's printed in South Korea. Why are we printing our books in South Korea? We have ability to publish books in America, and they're charging $50 for them. But this one here I got for $30 at the discount warehouse. Dave Rubenstein forwards it. So too bad he's the guy, but that's okay. 1,000 Days in America, an illustrated history of the moments that defined a nation. Celebration of 250 years. Yep, so let's see. 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st century. Yep. And they have editors for each section. So they start out, once they get through the prologues and all this other stuff, they eventually get to the point where they start sharing days. So 1763 to 1799, they pick particular dates. June 29, 1767, Parliament passes the Townsend Acts. September 24, 1789, Supreme Court is established. U.S. Census is established on March 1st, 1790. Père l'Enfant creates the federal city, March 28, 1791. And it has background. Mason and Dixon come to America, 1765. Boston women hold a patriotic spinning bee, 1766. The First Continental Congress convenes on September 5th, 1774. And it runs all the way through to the 21st century. Pretty cool. Anyway, it's a nice coffee table book. So as if I need more books in my house, but knowledge is power. Arnold, 70 Rand, the last super chat from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for everything you do for us, Colonel. Well, Arnold, okay. Well, let's hang on. Let's see. Make sure you get over here, okay? Get on that plane. Thank you so much. 36 degrees in Chicago well, that's Celsius. That's about what it was today here. It was about, got up to 93, 95. It was hot. Miss V is enjoying Chicago. Came across a clip where the EU apparently has passed a law to police social media. Yeah, they're trying to police social media. I'm aware of that. Well, books are a very good habit. It beats drugs, sex, alcohol, gambling. It's a much better habit to have. Thank you for the 70 Rand super chat. Do you read any fiction? I do. I do read fiction. Andy McNabb is great. I saw an Andy McNabb book. I don't know what that is. Is that like a mystery series or something? I saw that at the shelf where they have books. Yeah, no, I do read fiction. That's how I got interested in South Africa in such a major way. I read James Michener's book, The Covenant, about Geloofde and the Battle of Blood River. I don't know about the history of South Africa. So that's, but I don't read much fiction these days, but I have read a lot of fiction in the past. I used to like to read John Irving, Steinbeck I enjoyed reading. Michener I enjoyed reading, yes. Who's the guy that did A World According to Garp? Is that Irving? Yeah, I think it's Irving, yeah. It's interesting that during the American Revolution, the subjects of Britain were between apathetic and even supportive. Yep. Well, yeah, because they lived under the same tyranny, except that they didn't dare rise up against it. Their heads have been on the block. A lot easier when you're further away. Hey, thank you, Westhouse, for your continued membership. Secure things in the work front might mean us relocating to but all good. Just got my social security number today and all other EAD. Cool. There you go, Big Fish. That's good news. Well, that'll be more we can talk about when I got you on. Is there a limit to the number of salary approvals or whether the program will end at some point? Well, Mile High, there's a limit to the number of people that can come in the country. This fiscal year, it's 17,000, and we're only at 7,700. So lots of room, another almost 10,000 slots open. And we have just 2.5 months. We have all of August, all of September, and half of July. We're not going to get to 17,000 unless some major push comes. Yep. You like Bushman, the Brockensburg man, the Sangomas, and the books. I will send you my novel from Amazon. Oh, that's nice snippets. Good question, Mile High. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is it a good question? I mean, we've answered it before. The approvals won't stop. I mean, anyone who is eligible and applies and gets reviewed and gets approved will just go on a list. And when there's a slot, presumably you come over. Yep, nothing's changed. Lots of room. I'm the first analyst, to my knowledge, who drew this corollary. I mean, people are going to dismiss it, going to say, well, yeah, 63 million people, not 2 million people or 1 million people. But I'm the one who's now said that we are approaching the point when we reach 10,000 refugees to come to America, that we will have achieved 1/3 of the Great Trek. Now, bear in mind that not all those people were Afrikaners, but the media says they're all white Afrikaners, so so that plays into it. But yeah, this is comparable. Now, people are going to say, yeah, but 82 people leave South Africa today. That's true, but they don't all go to the same country, and they all don't go for the same reason. These people are fleeing persecution and oppressive state like the Boers did. Tibet, you did miss it. Not only did I say it earlier, but I've said it many, many times. Marco Rubio is the front candidate for me in the race to president. J.D. Vance can't hold a candle to him. J.D. Vance is an establishment guy, and he's not going to be the next president. I don't think. So there you go, folks. There's 10 1 gigabyte thumb drives. So these will have DJ Silver Eagle Classic Collection on there. I'll be carrying these around to meet and greets going forward. So anybody who wants to get the music, a small recoup the cost of that and everything. So there you go. Okay, before we do that interview. Okay, that's fine. Do what you got to do, Big Fish. There's no rush. Sadaf sent him someone else's military record 3 week wait. Oh, my goodness. It tells you the incompetence. That's why, identification numbers are important. Names, there's lots of people with the same name. The Consumer Price Index, yeah, I saw that report on it yesterday. Anyway. Debbie says, I hope a major push comes. I want to get there. Well, I don't know if there's going to be a major push, but there's certainly space for it. I mean, it's going to be a wasted cap if we only bring 10 or 12,000 people in. I mean, at last month's rate, we have 7,766 have come in now, I think it is. So another 1,000, 8,000, 9,000, wouldn't even reach 10,000. So the 17,000 wouldn't have meant a whole lot. It's cold, 4 degrees. Oh, that's South Africa. That's definitely not here. Yeah, anyway, so too many people focus on the number of rejection letters. In the meantime, the number of people coming over the rise is going to be interesting to see where we are by September. I agree, Big Fish. Also, number one, they're focusing on the wrong thing. There are no rejection letters. No such thing as a rejection letter. People may want to feel that way, but it's not a rejection letter. It is an ineligibility letter. I hope you're doing well, Chaos Sugar. Sorry. So what is that? Oh, what happened? Oh, so yeah. Okay. Who deleted that? Somebody is hot on that stuff. Okay. One of my moderators deleted that. Okay. Borblum says, get an interview when they get sorted. That's fine. We got 2 coming this week. One on Thursday, one on Friday, I believe. For sure the Friday one. I've got to go back and check on the Thursday one. Carlos, good morning to you. Well, the problem with South African government preventing people from leaving the country who aren't wanted criminals or don't have a warrant for their arrest is it's a violation of South Africa's constitution. South Africa's constitution guarantees freedom of movement and freedom to visit other countries. Therefore, if authorities begin blocking you, they are criminals. They are criminals. So, yep. 4 weeks, had to climb 5 positions. In South Africa, in 6 months, applied for over 80 jobs, not a single interview. Well, but you see, Westhouse, that's why. I mean, look, last year, people like, well, what's your deal? Why I kind of chuckle. People like, can I find work? Are you serious? If you want to work, there's jobs. I mean, I've had 6 job offers. I haven't even set them in the job market. People find my profile, reach out to me. We need someone with your skill set. We've talked to people. You're the guy. They're recruiting me. And 6 times in the past, well, less than 2 years. And I'm not even looking for a job. They are pushing tight timeline to 48, 72 hours to upload, even shorter to confirm appointment abilities. I need to check on something else, too. I don't think I would have got a response on this. Okay. Oh, I do have a message on that. I need to listen to this message. Give me a second here. I have to put the microphone mute because this is not for public. This is someone that I talked to. It's important. Let me just check on something. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, never mind. I didn't get a response. That's my message. Silly boy. Yeah, it was a message I sent to someone. Okay, wait to see. Haven't responded, so. You both have works, vehicles, and your own place. Well, look at that, Westhouse. Look at that. Oh, but no one can make it, man. It's America's racist. There's no jobs. The country's falling apart. They're killing each other. The crime, it's all terrible. All lies. Grim Midlands on the foot of the Borg. The Basuta used to raid our cattle during misty nights, sighting times for young and share the most beautiful valleys in South Africa. Huh. Yeah, so Tamar, you have a freedom of movement there. I have that somewhere that I saved in my... I made slides on that, so I'm going to have to go back and look, but that's a while ago. I'm not sure which one. I'm looking in the wrong place there. No, I'm in the right place. But somewhere I have that. Yeah, it's back in early last year. So, South Africa violating its own constitution. Oh, here we go. No, that's a later one I did. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. I'm just looking to see if it's here. Yeah. Just amazing how many times you got to point out to people their own government when it misbehaves. So this is worth covering again. I did this before, but this is all getting lost in the ineligibility letters, okay? So let me just talk about this, because this is something that needs to be... Let me just make sure it goes where I want it to go. Okay, cool. All right, so I covered this in a video previously, but let me just talk about this, okay? I was looking for something else, but let's cover this right now. Okay, this is the letters of ineligibility. I'm sorry to bring a painful subject up, but it needs to be talked about because people are getting this wrong. U.S. refugee status denials, well, specifically for applicants outside the U.S. seeking resettlement, which is really ineligibility. It cannot be formally appealed, but applicants may request one request for review or submit one for the Resettlement Support Center within 90 days if they can prove a significant error or present new material information. But that has gone away. That's no longer an option. So a request for review is not a formal appeal, but rather a request for the original officer or supervisor to review the decision. The request must clearly identify the specific error made or provide new evidence that was not available during the initial interview. But this is no longer an option. And it had to be submitted within 90 days of the letter. And the RFR is denied. There are no further avenues to appeal. And with the rescission of that, the removal of that in April of this year, there is nothing you can do anyway. There is no appeal. There's no request for review. It's gone. Is anyone out there who went over without divorce certificates? I have no idea. Frickhorn, is anybody in the chat that applied to? I don't think so. You're here and your 2 kids inside. Okay, well, your kids, okay, Tamara, okay. You're talking about adults. They're not your children. We didn't leave your minor children behind. You're talking about adults, not children, correct? Well, the South African government is losing its tax base. I've talked about that in the AI songs too. All Stars, not really fun, but heading to Cleveland versus Mets and looking for that. Oh, the Ohio State Fair. I actually competed in the Ohio State Fair in 1981. Yep, 1981. I had several 4-H projects that I did. I did Ohio Birds, water conservation, a whole bunch of other ones, and one of my projects was top in the county, and therefore I get invited to the state fair to compete. So I went to the Ohio State Fair. Yep, and I saw Johnny Cash perform live. It was pretty cool. I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling down the track. Johnny Cash, what a performer! What a performer! Indeed is a pretty good job site. That's correct. Okay, Bernie, what are you talking about? People stuck in an airport in the U.S. When? They came and were denied entry? Who? Who are we talking about? South Africans? Refugees? Who are you talking about? Where's this coming from, Bernie? I don't know anything about that. Okay. And how you doing, Bernie? Good to see you there. Yeah, I walk the line. Yeah. Johnny Cash. One of my favorite Columbo episodes, Johnny Cash, was when they played a country singer where he he parachuted. He's a former Army soldier. He parachuted out of his plane and let the plane crash in the mountains. And then he landed near it and put himself out as if he was thrown from the plane. Yeah, Johnny Cash was a legend. Folsom Blues, yeah, what a guy. Yeah, no, but I saw him live. I was I think that is the first concert I ever went to in my life. Johnny Cash. Amelia says you need a divorce letter your attorney issued you with reflects the divorce case number. So how does somebody who's divorced not have that letter? I don't understand that. I mean, you sort of need important documents. I mean, unless your house burned down, but. Yes, Neff, I've already covered that many, many times. You can't just do things electronically, send something electronically. You need to go to places. We talked about the refugee in Columbus, Ohio, who got himself a job a few blocks from where he lives by walking into a car dealership, and they were impressed and got hired just like that. Oh, I was very lucky, Westhouse. I mean, I was there. Johnny Cash was playing that day. It was free. You didn't pay for it. And I didn't have to pay to get into the Ohio State Fair because I was someone that was participating and competing there. It's pretty cool. Now, I had been in Perry County, Ohio. I had shown my dairy calf, didn't win, got a ribbon for participating. Showed my turkeys, didn't win. My rabbits. But then I had all these other projects for 4-H, and I did very well with those. Yep. Oh, you remember that Columbo episode? I love that one. That was a good episode. What was that one called? Columbo episode with Johnny Cash. The Ferrayas now are probably bored because we're not talking about things that they want to use to steal my content and go lie about me. Swan Song, that's what it was. Yeah. Swan Song, Johnny Cash. Yeah, classic Columbo episode. Classic Columbo episode. Popular country western singer wants to get rid of his religiously zealous wife who's been using blackmail to control every aspect of his life, but a murder made to look like an airplane accident does not fool the wily Lieutenant Columbo. Yeah. Following on from the underwhelming future shock of Mind Over Mayhem, Columbo returned to safer territory in March '74 in the musical form of Swan Song. Casting legendary country singer Johnny Cash in the role of legendary country singer Tommy Brown was a revelation. But does the episode live up to its star billing? Let's tune up our guitars. Yeah. Biblical crooners Tommy Brown and the Lost Soul Crusaders are playing to a packed house in Bakersfield, just another leg on a mammoth touring circuit designed to raise funds to build a $5 million tabernacle to prove how much they love the Lord. It's not a shared goal, though. Lead singer Tommy, Johnny Cash, wants to have some fun with the money he's earning. His harpyish wife, Edna, Ida Lupino, has her heart set on the tabernacle, and she's blackmailing Tommy to ensure she gets her way. Former jailbird Tommy, you see, has been a very naughty boy. He'd been romping with one of his backup singers, Marianne, since she was 16. Even though he was still a willing participant, she was willing participant. That's still statutory rape. And if Tommy don't give his all to the tabernacle calls, Edna will blow the whistle, and our mate Tommy will be back behind bars before you can say you're a sanctimonious hypocrite of a Bible-spouting blackmailer, and I've given you your last chance to be fair. He cooks up a high-risk plan to rid himself of both Edna and Marianne. Yep, after the Bakersfield show. Plane crashes to fire. Oblivion. Tommy lands nearby, breaking his ankle while landing before hiding the telltale parachute in a hollow log. Yep. There he is. Squirrel, chili, booze, and bikini-clad scorchers helped Tommy bounce back from the grievous loss of his dear wife. There's Columbo in the back. There's a good summer here. There's Columbo with one of his iconic, bangs his head. And there he is retrieving the parachute, and Columbo catches him. Gotcha. There's plenty of good scenes to choose from, but the personal favorite of this author is the blazing row between Ed and Tommy right after the Bakersfield show, full of vitriol. It tells us all we need to know about both characters. First, we see that Tommy's susceptible to sins of the flesh with teenage groupies and backing singers, and begrudges having to live on a shoestring when his sellout concerts are netting $30,000 a night. We learn that Edna's a ruthless, blackmailing old witch. He treats him as slave labor, milking his talent to fund her tabernacle. There he is. He's got the boot on for his ankle broken. Tommy creeping on young Tina makes for uncomfortable viewing. And there's another to indicate that Tommy hasn't learned his lessons. He's on the cusp of pashing with the teen groupie outside his dressing room after the Bakersfield show. He's clearly grooming Tina, another teen singer from his backing group, later in the episode, inviting her to make a big, long list of things you'd like me to do for being so nice to Tommy Brown. Run, Tina, run. It's pretty unsettling stuff, especially to a modern audience with the Me Too campaign fresh in memory, and probably ought to make the viewer consider afresh whether he's worthy of our sympathies. Personally, I think the writers erred by not making Tommy seem further along the path to redemption earlier in the episode. It's as if the writers were unclear on who Tommy Brown was meant to be, saint or sinner. A guy who's truly seen the light? I saw the light. I saw the light. Tommy Brown. Squirrel chili. Oh, there you go. Sorrel Brooks. That's Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard. Sorrel Brooks. Yeah. The episode is actually directed by Nicholas Colasanto. He's known as Coach from Cheers. Yep. Great episode. Anyway, I saw the light. I saw the light. I love it. Good stuff, man. CB's leaving. Take care, CB. Tootsies. I'm in awe of how beautiful USA is every day. We've got deer, rabbits, chipmunks, squirrels, and a beautiful forest in our backyard. Wow, Borblum. That's cool. Yeah. And I no longer have any voles. Excuse me. Myra Page. Oh, my goodness. Where's Myra been? I haven't seen Myra in donkey years. Somebody just wrote Myra's name in here. I don't see it. I don't know what will be accepted. You're going to have to ask them when you're interviewing, explain to them the documents are burned or there were no issue during that time frame. And you'll have to get probably an affidavit. It's amazing how many people take offense about things that aren't directed at them. Remember when I talked about practice wives? I got a nasty email from someone. Oh, yeah, I'm not a practice wife. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Sorry about that, sweetheart. Oh, did that hurt your feelings, calling you sweetheart? Yep. America had Johnny Cash, Bob Hope, Stevie Wonder. Sell that. I have no cash, no hope, no wonder. Yeah. Yeah. I saw the light. I saw the light. Yep. Righto. Let's get to congratulations to España. Les Espanyol. Spain has defeated Team West Africa and advanced the 2-0, a record 6 shutouts I believe it's 6, in a FIFA World Cup. Spain will appear for the second time ever in the FIFA final in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, coming up in just a few days. Meanwhile, on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, England face Argentina. I've run out of teams to support. All I've got left to support now is Lionel Messi. So I'll be supporting Argentina and hoping they get to the final. Spain choked the life out of France to reach the World Cup final. The 2010 World Cup winners will seek their second title against England or Argentina in the Meadowlands. Mikel Oyarzabal of Spain celebrates with teammates after scoring their opener from a penalty spot in their 2026 FIFA World Cup semifinal in Dallas. Spain suffocated France deep in the heart of Texas, powering into the first World Cup final since lifting the trophy in 2010 with a spellbinding 2-0 victory thanks to goals from Mikel Oyarzabal and Pedro Porro. From the opening whistle, the Spaniards wrapped themselves around France like an anaconda, tightening their grip with every wave of pressing and every spell of possession until the life had been squeezed from a French attack that looked irresistible throughout the tournament. European champions are now within one victory of completing the double of the game's biggest prizes. They will discover their final opponents Wednesday when England face Argentina in Atlanta for a place in Sunday's showpiece. For a country that waited generations for its first World Cup, a second title 16 years later would herald the arrival of another Spanish golden era. This one built around Lamine Yamal and a side as comfortable without mercy as it is with the ball. Wow. Congratulations to Spain. Yep, becoming dragon, that's good advice. Before you go for your interview, get an affidavit. I'm an attorney explaining why you cannot get divorce papers. Include all the pertinent information, where you got divorced, the dates, everything. If the attorney's office, if you got that, include info about your ex-spouse, print all emails showing your request papers, and any fees you paid. Yep. England is the last African team left in the World Cup. Yeah, Team West Africa is gone now. France, they're gone. Gone, baby. Yep, Team West Africa is out of it. There you have it. That's what you had to do, and now you're in the USA, says Becoming Dragon. See, there you go. Good advice. That's kind of what I've told people to do. The U.S. carries out more strikes on Iran and begins a blockade of Iranian ports. Trump is threatening to strike Iranian power plants and bridges next week. He's used similar blustery threats as a negotiating tactic in the past. I don't think he's messed around this time. Oh, he's changed his mind on the 20% cargo. Interesting.
Kevin Liptak is out front live outside the White House. Kevin, what more are you learning about, well, frankly, how shocked, outraged, stunned U.S. allies, and frankly, some of Trump's own aides? I mean, if you look at what Marco Rubio has said about this topic in the past, he's been as black and white about it as you can be. I mean, what was the reaction to Trump's announcement of a 20% toll in the Strait to get?
Well, mine was no. The answer is no. We're not going to do that. But look at the snarky faces. She's not a journalist there. She's making faces to influence the audience. Yep. Fourth day of strikes were reported across the region. U.S. launched complete another day of strikes on Iranian targets. In a television interview, Trump warned the U.S. would strike bridges and power plants next week. Earlier, he announced the U.S. will not impose a 20% reimbursement fee on cargo moving through the Strait, saying it will be replaced by Gulf states' investments in the U.S. Big fish, that's a good question. Can Trump finish the job? That's a real question here we're all asking. Is Trump going to finish the job this time? I don't know. I hope so. Well, racist legislation works, ladies and gentlemen. Racist legislation works. One of South Africa's most successful private companies is now going to be taken over by a broad-based black economic entity, Fly South Air. The Unfair Competition Commission in South Africa has determined that the Irish holding company that has made Fly South Air successful, profitable, on time, and reliable must sell its business to black South Africans. Yep. So the racist legislation in South Africa will lead to the unbundling of one of the few successful companies in South Africa and hand it over to a black holding company. And let's just wait and see whether they can manage it, or like everything else, it goes to crap. The sale of South Africa's largest airline gets green light. South Africa-Iran weakened, but the airline Competition Commission has recommended the Competition Tribunal approve Harith Aviation's acquisition of South Air Holdings. South African billionaire Tshepo Maholele, and where did he get his billion from, is a step closer to adding the country's largest domestic airline to his infrastructure investment empire after the completion Competition Commission recommended approval of Harith Aviation's acquisition of SAF Air Holdings, the parent company. Shep Moholy's company is close to acquiring SAF Air Holdings. The Commission said it recommended the merger, subject conditions aimed at preserving competition, particularly because Harith already owns a big chunk of Lanseria, the only privately owned international airport. Regulators were concerned that common ownership of both Lanseria and FlySAF Air could result in the airline receiving preferential treatment over its rivals. I'm more concerned at how racist forced a company that has made travel affordable, reliable, consistent, and productive give that product to someone who has no industry experience just because they're black. The acquisition could significantly expand the transportation investment portfolio of Harith, which has built one of Africa's largest infrastructure platforms with investments spanning airports, rail, energy, telecommunications, and logistics. FlySAF Air has grown in South Africa's dominant domestic carrier following the collapse of rivals Com Air and Mango. The airline now commands the country's largest share of domestic passenger market and serves regional destinations across southern Africa. Yep. The transaction comes after years of regulatory scrutiny over FlySAF Air's ownership structure. South African aviation laws require domestic airlines to be at least 75% South African owned, and the acquisition is expected to bring the airline into closer alignment with those requirements. So the racist politicians in South Africa allowed Irish investors to pour money in to build this airline, and now they're stealing it from them. The jewel of South African aviation. Pretty soon, South Africans will be riding behind donkeys on carts to get from Cape Town to Joburg. This is unbelievable. Take care, Xavier. Yep. Ridiculous. Could be one of the most significant private investments in South Africa's aviation sector in recent years. It's not an investment. No. One of the most significant private investments. It's not an investment in the aviation sector. It's an investment for that holding company. It's for them, but it's not an investment. An investment implies money is coming into South Africa. There's no money coming into South Africa. There's nothing happening here. This is being added to the portfolio of a BEE company. Wow. We already talked about the inappropriateness of Harith getting involved. Harith was supposed to be buying South African Airways. Remember that? And this is just such a corrupt practice. The entire, oh my goodness, unbelievable. That's not right. Shoot, that is not right. Why does it not? I said copy that. Let's see if that worked now. Okay. Huh. We're in free fall. Yep. The acquisition will comprise roughly 15% of their total investment portfolio, $450 million. This acquisition follows their previous high-profile attempt to enter the commercial aviation space via the Takatso Consortium, which mutually terminates deal to buy a majority stake in South African Airways. SAF Air controls 60% of the domestic flight capacity. Oh, boy. Harith Aviation is a black-owned company and a black economic empowerment investor. Yep. And 30% is owned by the ANC through the Public Investment Corporation. Harith's strong BBE status is the primary mechanism of solving South Africa's domestic licensing crisis. South African aviation law requires domestic airlines to maintain 75% local control. Regulators previously ruled that FlySAF Air's foreign parent structure violated this law by acquiring it through Harith Airline Transitions. Okay. Yep, once again. Okay. Why not build and start an airline? Yeah, exactly. From the 1960s, a specialized cargo operator. I've covered this before. Yep. They now have 41 aircraft. A channel in Egypt is narrow. We can secure the alternative. So, in 2014, Sapphire launched a bypass South Africa's 75% local ownership law by holding only 25% of its shares directly under ASL Aviation Holdings. The other 75% was placed in the South African Investment Trust and employee share scheme. Regulators initially approved this. So Fly Sapphire set up a system in which the employees became the owners of the airline, and now they're stealing it for black economic empowerment. Wow. In 2019, it emerged that through regulatory audits that the ASL Aviation Holdings had executed shifts in the beneficial ownership of these domestic trusts. This legally transfers 74% of the actual economic exposure and control back to the Irish corporation. Airlink and Lyft discovered the offshore trust links and filed formal complaints with South Africa's Aviation Licensing Authority in 2022. Rather than fighting the ruling through endless high court appeals, ASL Aviation Holdings agreed to completely sell and exit its interest in Fly Sapphire. This prompted the current buyout of Harith Aviation, returning the airline to 100% local, compliant, black-owned structure. So the Irish built it into a successful airline after it had lingered for decades, and now they're forced to sell it to people because they're black. Yeah, that's just wrong. Yeah, France does suck. Oh, you mean Team West Africa? Well, Rest the Monkey, it's not last night. It was earlier this evening. Oh, no, it's last night now. It's midnight. I didn't watch the game, but I listened to it on the radio because I was out running around. Do I think the risk of coup in South Africa is far-fetched? No, I don't think it's far-fetched. We saw a dry run of that in July of 2021 when the Radical Economic Transformation faction of the ANC led an ANC internal insurrection in Soweto and in KZN. Yep. Why not build and start it? Yeah, exactly. Let's take what someone else built. Yep. Exactly. They take at all levels, beggars to present. Yep. I wonder how long Kirby Gordon will be there. Will Kirby Gordon be fired because he's white? Watch and see. Conspiracy theory here. Freedom of movement is currently being destroyed. Petrol price, defunct airlines, railways, steel parts. That is a bit of conspiracy theory. You waited till midnight to see if it happened. That was good. Right? It was clever of you, Rest the Monkey. Showing the world they're racist thieves, thinking they're entitled to all without working and building a company. Yeah, unfortunately, the world doesn't see it, Yep. They'll say that, well, it's the government's right to insist that strategic companies be South African owned. But is it? Do countries have the right to do that? Every country does that. The U.S. has ownership rules for certain key things like chip manufacturing. But is that right? I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. Especially when South African airlines have proven incapable of doing it themselves. What will they do when there's nothing left to steal or take? Oh, there'll always be something left to steal, Stephen. Your house is still there. Your Bucky's there. Your retirement funds are there. Your jewelry in your home is there. Your wife is there. You could be like the Spanish conquistadors. I want her. Give me her. No, it's my wife. Well, too bad for you. Lock him up. Give me her. Yep, that's coming too. Just give it time. Give it time. It's just a matter of time for the country collapses. The solar panels are being charged $2,400 per month. Yeah, Merrill. That's that. How can I even? How can you charge people a fee for their own property? It's insane. Well, they get lots of handouts. The idiots in Washington at the World Bank and the IMF keep giving money to the ANC. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Well, one of the reasons, yeah, you're hit at DK. ESCOM has a challenge collecting from municipalities. Why do municipalities? See, the whole system is broken. My municipality has nothing to do with my electric bill. Nothing. Not a damn thing. I don't get electricity from the government. I get it from a private corporation. And I sell them electricity every day. In fact, let me see how I did today. My home burns average 17 kilowatts of power per day. So let's see what I generate today. Well, no, I was going to do yesterday. So yesterday was, okay, day. Come on. 42 kilowatts. So about 25 kilowatts extra there I produced. So that electricity was fed right back into the grid, and I get credit for that, or I get money for it. Yep. And I don't pay any fee to the state because I'm not on the grid. I've produced 24.5 megawatts of electricity with those solar panels since I installed them a little over 2 years ago. 474 kilowatts so far this month, and we are at mid-month. So all things being equal, that would be 800, 950. I'd hit just under a megawatt for this month. That's pretty good if it continues. But we had some cloudy days for several days. Otherwise, it'd be even higher right now. So yeah. So according to this, I've saved 37,900 kilos. 37,900 pounds of carbon dioxide emissions, and I would have driven 43,100 kilometers on solar power with that amount of energy. Yep. So, yeah. No, they're just horrible communists and thieves. Yep. They're stealing everything. First, they don't deliver electricity, force you to spend fortune of your own money when solar panels are ridiculously expensive, installing solar on your property. Now, because you're not using the energy that they can't produce, they're going to come take money out of your pocket. Screw that. Screw that. Just a bunch of thieves. Well, it doesn't matter whether you connect to ESCOM at all, Odin's Viking. If you've got solar panels, they're going to come get you. Yep. Yeah, it may say now for people connected to the grid, they're going to come after you no matter what. Yeah, they want to charge a fee for a borehole too. That's ridiculous. Yep. Unbelievable. So I need to do this. Copy. I need to work on a video after this, so I want to get my facts right. I don't want to misstate things. Yep. Rain. Yeah, well, you're going to get a sunshine tax. It's not sunny today, so you have to pay a fee because there's no sun. You watch. You laugh, but you watch. Just a matter of time, man. Just a matter of time. Okay. Ouch, forehead's itchy there. Okay, I got what I need here. Okay. Oh, I hate how this by default goes to my Microsoft account line. I have to fix it. Oxygen tax. They think they own the sun. Yeah, they do. Atmospheric. They do think they own it. Fly drones over people's homes to see if we have solar or not. It's pathetic, in my opinion. Yep. And they should be flying drones over the Cape Flats to hunt down thugs and drug dealers and criminals and gangs. That's what they should be doing. Yep. Hey, Kathy Price. How are you? All right, so back to where we were. The House has foolishly voted for the end of daylight savings time. Then the New York Times calls it permanent daylight savings time, but they want to change the clock and screw us up. This should not happen. I hope the Senate defeats this. House Republicans and Democrats are united in favor of a bill to eliminate semi-annual clock changing, but it faces a certain fate in the Senate. I hope it's defeated. The House on Tuesday voted overwhelmingly to make daylight saving time permanent, but the measures to spare Americans the semi-annual clock changing that shortens winter days faces an uncertain path to enactment. The measure, fittingly named the Sunshine Protection Act, passed on a 308 to 117 vote. Its fate is murky in the Senate, where one GOP leader said it's unclear whether it can move ahead, and at least one Republican appears inclined to try to block it. Well, I hope they all block it. This is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. We are going with the far more popular alternative, saving daylight, which gives you longer, brighter day. And who can be against that? Well, Donald Trump, I'm against that because you're going to get a lot of school children killed. You're going to have a lot of needless fatalities. You're going to have a lot of energy issues because daylight savings time is effective. And this is stupid. Stupid. You say that atmospheric, but that's bullshit. I paid e-tolls all the time. Every time I rent a car and drive in South Africa, even though the e-toll system had been declared illegal and dismantled, supposedly, I get hit with tolls after I've left South Africa. Nothing I can do about it. My credit card gets billed for e-tolls in Gauteng. Last year, I got billed for e-tolls in Gauteng, and the system supposedly wasn't even working. It's total bullshit. People do pay for it. We get fleeced. A sizable block of Florida Republicans in Congress is leading the charge on legislation that would do just that, mandating daylight savings time nationwide for the entire year. Representative Vern Buchanan of Tampa area is backing the bill, and Representative Anna Paulina Luna, another Tampa Bay Republican co-sponsor. It shows you that being attractive doesn't mean you're necessarily bright. Anna Paulina Luna, not so bright there. Stupid. Most states comply with this. Congress first passed the Standard Time Act in 1918 and established federal oversight of time zones. Then came the Uniform Time Act of 1966, which said states can observe daylight saving time from late spring and early fall. The country's clock-changing practices were last altered in 2005 with the enactment of bipartisan legislation that extended daylight saving time for several weeks. Most states comply, but there are exceptions. Hawaii and most of Arizona abide by standard time year-round, as do Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Marianas. There are 19 states that have moved to make daylight saving time permanent, but those laws have not taken effect because federal law does not currently allow people to live in daylight saving time year-round. Yep. Not everyone agrees with the changes. Representatives Mary Gay Scanlon, Democrat of Pennsylvania, Pat Harrigan, Republican of North Carolina, backed an alternative bill that would mandate standard time. Well, I don't agree with any of this. Stop monkeying with it. So, Stephen Orkia, I wouldn't recommend you say this, but I would. Oh, God bless, I got a scratch. It's driving me nuts here. I would say this. I wouldn't recommend you do it, but. So, if kill the Boer is just a slogan, what is kill the EFF member? What is that? What if somebody had a slogan that says kill the Bantu, kill the Nguni speakers? That's just stupid. He's a fool, whoever told that to you. Well, IBM had its worst day ever. Its worst day ever. And as an IBM shareholder, bummer. So much for retiring, now I have to work. IBM shares crashed 25% in its worst day ever. IBM stock plummeted on Tuesday in its largest single-day loss in its 115-year history, with Chief Executive Officer Arvind Krishna warning investors the computing firm's latest quarter was worse than our expectations while failing to adapt to rising chip costs. Shares of IBM crashed 25.2% to around $217 at market close today, topping the infamous Black Monday crash of 1987 when IBM plummeted 23%. That erased $67 billion from IBM's market capitalization, valuing the firm at just $205 billion. So with today's crash in the stock market for IBM alone, IBM now is only worth half the annual output of all of South Africa, one company. The historic decline followed a letter from Krishna to investors Tuesday in which he said the company's disappointing second quarter performance, what played out was worse than expectations, we did not adapt and move quickly enough. Well, perhaps it's time to fire Mr. Krishna and bring an American back. Customers adjust their technology budgets as demand from AI data centers made server, storage, and memory harder to obtain, adding that while IBM anticipates some supply chain disruptions, companies do not expect customers to shift so much of their spending away from software and toward buying AI hardware. Yep. Krishna also cited the release of Anthropic's Mythos, which he said stalled several large deals as customers weigh the implications of the AI model, which Anthropic claimed would enable hackers to identify cybersecurity vulnerabilities before companies detect them. Yeah, so IBM will post second quarter earnings on July 22nd. Wall Street anticipates IBM reports $17.2 billion in quarterly revenue and $2.93 in earnings. Wow. 25.2%. Wow. Imagine losing half of your net worth, or not a quarter of your net worth in a couple of hours. That would suck. Big Fish told me to sell last month. Sure, Big Fish. And the price of my IBM stock, the value of it, 85% of it is an increase. So on 85% of that stock, I would have had to pay taxes, and I would have had to pay it now. So selling it, okay, I would, after paying taxes, have less money than it's currently worth. Do you see the conundrum there? Because my taxes are more than 25%. So you're right, sell it. And I could have rebought it, and I can rebuy it tomorrow if it goes down more. But that's if you play the market. I don't play the market. I'm an investor, not a flipper. But could have sold around $300 a share, but I would have paid over 30% of that in taxes, and I would have had to fork over a big check. Yep. That's a good answer, Rasta Monkey. It shows you how stupid whoever was interviewed you. You said EFF is not a threat because Malema is sentenced to 5 years. Well, Malema hasn't gone to jail. He's still spewing hatred, and his demented followers will do what they want to do. It's stupid people. Oh, you're welcome to share that. Oh yeah, he said that in 2000. We've been standing here for 26 seconds. Nobody's been. Yep, some stupid stuff. Good evening, Neffil. No, they will put Joyce Malema in jail. I mean, they're not going to not do it because the country burning. No, that's not going to stop it from happening. It may not happen, but it's not going to be because they're worried about the country burning. No, it's because they're corrupt and their hands are in the pockets. And Malema's got influence. Yep. No, I think they will dare to put him in. Retirees are set for, this is a misleading headline in New York Post. Retirees set for a cash boost as Social Security COLA forecasted to spike. Well, it's not a spike. It's barely ahead of inflation. The average Social Security check currently sits at $2,071, according to the Social Security Administration. Okay, the average Social Security check is $2,071. You can't live on that. $2,071? That's $14,000 a year. Social Security is not retirement. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. Wow. The cost of living adjustment will be 3.8%. So why do they say it soars? It's not soaring. That's a modest increase. Checks would boost by a remarkable $78, but their buying power goes down. So it's just stupid stuff. Seniors may see a 3.8% boost, 1 point higher than last year's 2.8%. It's determined by the Consumer Price Index. Yep. Oh, there's a bill to increase the Social Security payroll tax, expand to cover income over $400,000, securing the trust fund for another 32 years. Great. They want to steal more money from us. Yep. They want to increase the tax rate for Social Security. So I've been paying in for 45 years, and when I'm fully eligible for full benefits, they don't have the money to pay my check. And now they want to tax me more for benefits I won't receive in 8 years. Crystal says, is it true that if I let the ad play through, it helps your channel? That is correct, Crystal. And if you click on some of those longer ads, and open up another browser tab, I get more money that way. But we're only talking fractions of a cent. But when tens of thousands of people do it, it adds up. Now, if you're in the U.S., the advertisers in the U.S. pay significantly more for advertising on YouTube than they do in South Africa. In South Africa, you're mostly getting Temu and Shein ads, and maybe you're getting some Nando's ads. But in America, you're getting all kinds of ads. Yeah, that's true. The SABC is talking about the U.S. on the dismantling of the International Criminal Court. What does the U.S. have to do with the International Criminal Court? It's the Rome Statute. It's an international agreement. We have nothing to do with dismantling. What are they talking about? Tracy Mercer, welcome to you. Right, and Rusta says, yes, guys, we leave the ads to run. We are helping Colonel. It's pennies, but pennies add up to the longer you leave the ads. Exactly. And if you click on any ads, it makes a difference too. Is Myra Page here? I didn't see Myra. Thank you, Vodka Model. Well, it does help. Let me just show you. Well, not show you, but I'll tell you. I'm not going to show you. I'll tell you. Where the heck is my? There we go. So, for instance, I haven't had many views on the videos I did this past week because YouTube's not promoting stuff. But do you need help completing the refugee intake questionnaire, where that company is offering to help you, which they're not allowed to do? 5,000 people viewed it, and it's made $5.43. But that's $5.43 I didn't have before. When most of you were in South Africa, when there are far fewer people in America watching, I've got more people in America watching now, that might have been $2 or $1 something. Now it's $5. The South African spy caught red-handed stealing nuclear secrets has 26,000 views. It's made $31. So, yep. And there are exceptions. People watch this entire video. Our South African refugee denial letter is genuine, and I had only 12,000 people watched it, but it made $36 in ad revenue. So, yeah. Well, Kyron, I've covered that too. I've shown the video. He says we're calling for the killing of whites. Not yet, anyway. That's old news. Yep. And then here's one. What's the deal with the refugee denial letters? 25,000 views. It made $76. So those 4 videos, which took hours of work, earned about $100. I charge a lot more than that for 1 hour consulting. Anyway, but yeah, it does help pay the bills. So, okay, cool beans, cool beans. All right, so. Well, if you pay for YouTube, you don't get ads. If you have YouTube Premium, I actually get something back from that. I think that was like 6% of the earnings on the channel. But you guys are asking about this because, you know, the Heartburn Club will claim that it's all about the money. No, I'm just answering your questions. So I think analytics is where I got to go for this. Here we go. Let me see. So YouTube Premium, people have YouTube Premium that don't watch any ads. I get money when I get a little fee from YouTube. It comes from them. 7.7% of the earnings. So nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty cool. So the ways that money is made on the channel: shorts feed ads. That's almost nothing. 0.3% of revenue. Super thanks, where people do super thanks on videos. That's 0.3%. Gifted memberships, where people give out memberships. 3.2%. Super stickers account for 5.4%. YouTube Premium, 7.7%. Super Chat, 18.4% of the revenue. Memberships, 28.6%. And watch page ads, 36.2%. And that climbs. The watch page ad. The ads have been the largest contributor to income every month, almost without exception, for a long time here now. There are a few exceptions. No, it's every month for a while now. So the ads, that's good. Last year, I recouped a lot of the money I've invested in doing this over the past several years before taxes, so I didn't really recoup that much. But yeah, because we had so many views. I had so many 100,000 plus view videos. Dr. Beetroot. Yep. Oh, really? You didn't know that? Okay, Tracy. Your last ad was Fly Sapphire. That's funny. Okay, so you have a good one. Be well. Hope you get your case sorted. Yep. No, I do it. I do it for the truth. That's why I do it. And the people I meet along the way are awesome. But there are costs to doing it, and you know, it's kind of funny that these people, like, you know, he doesn't do anything for Afrikaners. Well, first off, who said I had to do anything for Afrikaners? When did I become an Afrikaner? Although a lot of people consider me one. Van, thank you for the 21 super sticker. Thank you for 21 Rand. But I do more for Afrikaners than even most Afrikaners do. So then they're like, oh, he's begging for money. I'm not begging for money. I've refused money. I've refused money. You can ask Film with Hannes. Ask Hannes. I refused that tripod that he gave me 3 times because I mean he's not. I'm sure he's not a wealthy man, but he'd gotten a new one and he wanted to preserve that and give that to me. So you know, but yeah, no. You know, it's funny how people think that you're obliged to do things for free. I mean, I have to pay for my electricity. I have to pay for my phone. I have to pay for my internet, for all this $3,000 computer that I had built to do this, these studio lights, this ridiculously expensive microphone, all this stuff, and people, they're just so silly people. Silly people. I don't know what planet they're living on. Right, Heidi. Heartburn put out a video about me 4 hours ago. She has views and absolutely no comments. She's obsessed with you and it's another channel. No, she really wants to get my shorts. I mean, the woman is really needs care. She needs to seek care facility. Yeah, I am her content. And that's the thing. It's funny how it's how her sycophants like, oh, he and Professor D attacking her all the time. They attack her. They started this. No, we didn't start this. Didn't start this. She's the one that made a video when I never mentioned her name last. She attacked me. I didn't even know who the hell she was. This so-called colonel, this Santa Claus. This is disrespectful, I'm over there giving my life, getting shot at with mortar rounds and artillery rounds exploding around me, watching tracers go by my head, leading men and women in combat, and multiple times making life-altering decisions, saving hundreds of thousands of lives, and I get some asshat like that doesn't know anything. Anyway, yeah. Now, she wouldn't exist if she couldn't steal my content and lie about me. The fact that people believe that's just ridiculous. Oh, did you like the interview with Aaron? I thought it was pretty good. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely involved in that. Yep, I'm definitely involved in that. Safa loading, good night, time for bed. Well, it'll be time for bed for me in a few minutes too, probably. Where are we at? No, of course it doesn't make any sense, but she's got sycophants that follow her. It's amazing to me how some sheep just let themselves be led by false prophets. Professor G went off. He had enough of the nonsense. Solar helps with electricity, but internet is still an issue. Okay. Yeah, Jacob Zuma did say, boy, Martins, you got all these quotes. The ANC is more important than the Constitution. You're right. That's what they said. Yep. And, feel free to report her for, slander if you want. Oh, there's film. There's Hannes. It is true what he said. Thank you, sir, for what you do. Love being here. Yep, I did it 3 times. I said, no, I can't take this. I do accept gifts from people because I know it comes from the heart and people mean well. I mean, some people don't have much and they give me personal things. I mean, like I've got sitting over here the rank of someone from the South African VIP protection unit, which is really special to me. I've got that drawing that Stan's daughter did for me. That's over here. I've got this knife, which is really cool. This was made for me on my first trip back to South Africa. This is a handmade knife, which is given to me. I had to leave it on the first trip and pick it up the second trip because it was given to me in the airport, and I already checked my bag, so I couldn't put it in my bag. But I have that right here. I keep that with me right here. I use that. The Pink Panther. Yeah. Well, Dusty Corners, I know you're joking, but I actually do have a second channel. I have at Real Chris Wyatt, and we're losing subscribers over there. Let me see. Because I haven't put any videos up in a little bit. Real Chris Wyatt. So if anybody wants to join that, America's Pulse with Chris Wyatt. 22,000 subscribers. Now, it says I have 968 videos, but that's not true. I have unlisted about 1,500 more videos on there. So, yep. So if you want to check that out, for those who aren't subscribed, you can give me a little bump there. America's Pulse with Chris Wyatt. There you go. Okay. Oh, look, I'm making no earnings from that. Oh, what a shame. But I put the effort in having it. Here's Trump, 363 views. Rent-free in Legacy Media's head. It's a year ago. I did a live stream. Easy. This guy is out there. I mean, I listened to this interview, and not all of it, but big chunks of it. I mean, cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo. My goodness. First off, he's not in a position to know anything he claims to know. When pressed by Piers Morgan to say where he got his information from, well, I read reports. What, from conspiracy kooks on the internet? He says that Jews are the reason we fought the first Gulf War. No, Mr. Bilzerian, it's not the reason we fought the first Gulf War. The reason we fought the first Gulf War was because Iraq invaded Kuwait and took over 6% of the world's oil supply and threatened Saudi Arabia, where half the world's oil supply was at, threatening the energy of Europe and Japan. China, not an important player at that point 35 years ago.
That's actually from 2024. I don't know why it says a year ago. So this one I did. Hello, folks. Welcome back. Chris here in central Pennsylvania in a local cemetery where we've been honoring our former service members, our veterans who've passed away, with flags placed at their grave markers. And it reminds me in this 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence, many of the reasons why I served in uniform for 36 and a half years. Love of country, love of freedom, love of liberty, and service to the nation, which all of these gentlemen and ladies who are buried here, who are veterans, expressed in some form, shape, or fashion during their service to the nation, whether it was in the Revolutionary War or it was in the Civil War.
Yassine has put up a link to this channel. You'll find it there from Yassine. This is another channel.
First World War, Second World War, the Gulf War, wherever it was, they all put the best measure forward to defend this land. And it's worth it. Defending America is worth it. In these jaded times of social media and social media warriors and fake news and journalists who can't tell the truth even when it's staring them in the face, understand this: the American experiment is one worth pursuing. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, chief among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I believe firmly in that. And I believe firmly in our Constitution, so much so that I took an oath to support and defend that Constitution.
So that's America's Pulse. Yep. So this is from 5 years ago with Joe and Linda. This is interesting.
A blue personality. Go look at colorcode.com. I'm a blue personality. I always want to give. It's not about money. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's my nature, right? Music as well.
17 April 2021. That was like 4 days before my channel was removed. This one got 71,000 views 5 years ago. It's actually 6 years ago, but hang on a second here. I remember this. So, and this is just a sampling. This isn't even all my jerseys. Remember the Sia Khaleesi.
Welcome back to Adopt Africa. It's Chris here, and the topic of the moment seems to be people cutting up their Springboks jerseys. Well, for those of you who know me, know I've been a long-time Springboks fan dating back to the 1980s. Will I be cutting up my Springboks jerseys? Well, what is this coming about for? Well, because Sia Khaleesi has mentioned that he's backing the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, am I disappointed in Sia Khaleesi? Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't think the man fully understands what it is he's talking about or whom he's backing. As we see Black Lives Matter members beating people in the streets here in the U.S., burning cities, looting, and demanding not equal treatment, but superior treatment. Now, don't misunderstand. The concept of Black Lives Matter came from a good intention by a certain number of people who meant well, but it's been distorted beyond all belief. So will I be destroying my Springboks jerseys? Well, let's talk about what Sia had to say. He said that while growing up, he often felt that his life didn't matter and explained how he needed to assimilate into a culture that was not his. Well, we can say the same thing about people all over the continent of Africa. Nothing to do with race, but to do with a minority culture vice a majority culture, or a predominant political culture versus someone else's culture. His situation was hardly unique and has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. We could say the same thing of Yoruba children and Igbo children in Nigeria. I had to translate from Afrikaans to English to Xhosa. It was the past few decades. Should I do that? Should I cut these up, ladies and gentlemen? Should I burn them like an obstinate child because I'm unhappy with Sia Khaleesi? You tell me. By the way, these weren't free. I had to pay for these with hard-earned dollars, which I had to translate into rand Sia, not in dollars. I had to pay rand, translate and lose something, but I wanted it. It was valuable to me to have a Springbok jersey. So I was willing to translate my dollars into rand to purchase these. And some of them I paid ridiculous DHL overseas shipping for. Others I purchased in South Africa. Sia, you're a bit confused, my friend. You're a bit confused by what's happening with Black Lives Matter and the concept of what's happening there. And you need to understand a little bit better. Congratulations on being a Springbok captain. Congratulations on being a Stormer, as I'm a huge Stormers fan and always have been. And congratulations on a very successful career and winning the William Webb Ellis Trophy. But I've got to tell you, Sia, very disappointing what you're speaking about now. You don't know what you're talking about. You're unclear about what you're talking about. There you go. I am not tearing up my Springboks jerseys. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'll double down. And I'll sit down for a cup of coffee with Sio Khaleesi and talk to him about equality and inclusion and point out to him that it is a two-way street. When you join another organization from the outside and you accept their norms and become part of the team, you don't betray that team later, whether that team is the Army, becoming a national of another nation, or joining a national side for rugby. If you're a Pacific Islander and you join the All Blacks, then you learn the anthem. You learn the haka. You learn the cultural mores and norms of that team. If Pacific Islanders can learn the haka, why can't Sia Khaleesi learn Afrikaans to do lineouts? Ladies and gentlemen, I am not cutting up my Springboks jerseys, and I hope that you don't either. Because to me, it's a silly waste of resources and time, and it's not a good use of your money. Particularly in the midst of a pandemic in which millions of people no longer have employment, why would you want to tear these things up? If you're unhappy, donate your Springbok jersey to a deserving child who can't afford it or an adult who doesn't have the resources. And there you have it. There's my take on cutting up your Springbok jerseys. Cheers.
Yep. That video got 70-some thousand views on there. 2,300 likes. I got 25 dislikes on it. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking here, looking for some names that I haven't seen in a while, but most of these are people just saw it one time. They didn't really stick around, so yeah. Yeah, and that's just a fraction of my Springbok jerseys. I have many, many more South Africa jerseys, yeah. So anyway, America's Pulse. Yassine put the link there. Yep. So let me see something here very quickly here. You know, I can't go to the studio there, but yep. So 22,000 subscribers on there. So this is interesting. 21,395 subscribers on the original channel. So.
Thanks for the memory of rainy afternoons, swingy Harlem tunes.
Thanks for the memories of late night streams, video dreams of EFF schemes and holiday memes, SpaceX beams, and our little internet team. Thanks for the memories, all of which I hold dear, especially of Shakespeare, and things not to fear, of leftist smears, Bormeisy leers. It's definitely clear that throughout the years, y'all are always near in my thoughts. Thanks for the memories. Well, what's this little ditty about? Silly little non-singing voice. Folks, on April 20th, 2021 at 3:57 a.m., I presume Pacific time, I received a snarky email from YouTube telling me that they had removed my channel. I had awakened that morning 6 hours behind South Africans to find a frantic message from Anne-Marie Nell asking me what happened to my channel. It was like living in the Soviet Union. I was made to disappear overnight and had no recourse. Never mind that I was innocent of their accusations. They did it, and they got away with it. We found severe or repeated violations. Poppycock. Kvutch. Nonsense. I was targeted and canceled. It was as simple as that. And you might ask why. Most likely because I was effective in exposing fraud and my bona fides are unimpeachable. It's a simple way to send me to tech gulag. Cancel culture. The evil tool of totalitarians, fascists, in other words, most of the world's ruling elites. Now, a bit of information about this channel. A few things in the stats that you see in this list are not accurate with information about the channel. You'll see here it lists 863 videos. When my channel was restored, I removed nearly 1,000 videos out of concern they would come right back at me. A valid fear given that YouTube censored and targeted and removed 5 more of my videos after restoring the channel. Now, the attack was near instantaneous, occurring the day after the channel was restored, with 5 videos removed on March 28th and 29th, 2023. I quickly removed another 1,000 myself. Now, of course, that was no guarantee the channel would be safe, given the original removal of the channel was tied to a video that I myself had deleted 1 month prior to the channel being destroyed in 2021. The restoration of my channel coincides with the departure of the evil former YouTube CEO, now deceased. I appealed my removal 3 times. Immediately in April 2021, and was almost instantly dismissed by YouTube. A second attempt 6 months later, YouTube told me that content was gone. A lie. Clearly, all of my content remained on their servers. The third time came after they restored Donald Trump's YouTube channel in 2023. On March 27, 2023, 23 months after it was removed, YouTube restored my channel, admitting that I never violated their community guidelines. But the harm was done, folks. The meteoric growth of my channel from 2 to 20 plus thousand subscribers in a mere 4 months, 10 to 15,000 views per day, 2,500 hours of content viewed every day, and money coming to the channel from advertising in a big way, all blown up overnight because I was targeted by cancel culture. When restored, I move with an abundance of caution, as I do not trust the untrustworthy YouTube, and severely limited my content on this channel. Now, over the course of the next 18 months, YouTube hid my content, failed to notify subscribers, and removed 1,200 of my existing subscribers. Then out of nowhere, one video somehow evaded the algorithm and YouTube's intentional bias against me and has ridden the wave like an Aussie surfer. The hope is that this video might breathe life into my original channel here at Real Chris Wyatt. It has garnered over 100,000 views and resulted in over 1,300 new subscribers thus far. Wow, I'm gobsmacked, folks. My content remains high quality, my analysis insightful, and my message has always been consistent. Once upon a time, that was more than enough to grow a subscriber base on YouTube. But today, post-COVID, the streaming ecosphere is different. Missing perky breasts, unwilling to discuss self-pleasuring techniques, or spew conspiracy theories, growing subscriber base proves more challenging with overall YouTube viewership down dramatically from when everyone was confined to their abode. Nonetheless, I'm very happy more folks have finally found the OG here at Real Chris Wyatt. Hopefully, we can continue to grow, though I have my doubts, given the feeble numbers of views on my recent videos, which I produced over the past week. Still, we keep at it, informing and educating as many people as YouTube permits us to reach. I want to thank all the loyal subscribers and viewers, especially those who have been with us since the early post-military launch of this effort in early 2020. Now, nearly 5 years later, it seems like it was yesterday when I began visiting viewers, holding meet and greets, and traveling the world to bring you outstanding content on a variety of topics. Thanks for the memories, folks. The most valuable thing that one can share with people not in their immediate family is their time. We all have a finite amount of time on this planet, and giving the most precious resource you have to offer to others is something folks should never take for granted. Time. I've always given my viewers my all and never held back sharing my time with them. God bless, and thanks for the memories.
Yeah, that's, I forgot about that one. That's a pretty good one. Maybe I should download that. I'll do it from the channel and get a better quality, yeah. So only 19 comments. Hendo commented. Matt Canali, who we don't see very often, did it. Transconservative waifu. Yeah, did that. Erica was there. Garrett Gillich. Marilyn Brokenshaw. Vilma Hearn. Yeah, and Matthew Dixon. Yep. So that's that one. Then I've got other channels, guys. What's the other ones here? Let me see. I got Rugby Ascendant, of course. Let me see. Switch accounts. I got Liberty Ascendant. And I've got Paladin Warrior and Rugby Ascendant. So I've got 5 or 6 YouTube channels. But this is the main one. This is where most of the effort goes. Thank you, Rasta Monkey. Appreciate that. What do you know? They still don't send notifications. Anyway. Hey, Joey. How's it going? Good morning. And Yassine. Okay. All right, guys. Wednesday's a busy day. It's now Wednesday. It's after midnight, the 15th of July. We're halfway through the month of July. I appear to have repaired internet now. Hopefully it continues. I will hit the rack, and I'm gonna get up. I'm not gonna make that video tonight. I don't feel like it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but I will be making a video about Flagstaff Air. So you heard it here. I already got the stuff together for my notes to make that video. I've got to make some graphics for it. So I'll do that video tomorrow morning if I get up early enough. Then I've got the news program, then Ronaldo. So the news will be a little bit earlier. And then I've got my radio program tomorrow night. So lots going on. And then I should have a refugee interview on Thursday. I definitely have one on Friday. Saturday we'll be covering the Wales game. Now that the internet's working again, a lot of people miss me being on. So I'll be back Saturday for the Wales game. And we'll go from there. How's that? You guys up for that? Cool beans. Thank you all so much. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. 138 people here, almost 1,000 views. It's pretty cool. Anyway, why people get asked about Big Fish? Big Fish has been here. He's popped in and out. He was here earlier in the chat. So, all right. You guys take care. All right. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate all your support. Good night, everybody.